on divorce court today. They were raised in very different households, fell in love, and now are having a hard time finding middle ground. Sherry took a genetic test to discover her true heritage, and Jamie has a lot to say about what she found. Sherry Hearns and Jamie Hearns have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Mrs. Hearns, you say that you've had some childhood experiences that you believe are now hurting your marriage. Why don't you tell me about that?
It's just that we're raised completely different. I'm mixed race, but I was raised by a complete Caucasian family. And I don't know if people in this world believe that or not, but that makes a difference when you're, because the way he was raised was just completely different than mine.
Did you identify as black or white or just complete, or you didn't even know what the other mixed part of you was?
I didn't know. I just found out 6 months ago what my race is, besides the Caucasian. And
did you wonder? I mean, did you look in the mirror and say, hey,
of course,
there's other things going on? And what would your mother say? Or what would your family say?
My family, they just, you're white. But I look in the mirror every day. I don't look like a Caucasian person. And so I just knew that it was different. And the way that I was raised was just, I didn't know what black people were, and this may sound funny to some people, but I didn't know a black person until I was in junior high school.
Where did you live?
Albuquerque, New Mexico is where I was raised.
Okay, I'm gonna work with you on that one. Why do you think that has harmed your marriage
because
today?
He talks about, well, cause I don't want to say he's a racist or anything, but he talks about, he has very strong black views. And I'm mixed. I'm two different races that are mixed together. So that may offend me sometimes when he's talking about certain things. I may feel offended, just like I'll feel offended if a Caucasian person speaks about...
What kind of things does he say that offend you?
For instance, he'll say, if I do something, he'll be like, that's just like a white girl. That is what a white person would do. Or that would be what a white girl would do.
Do you do that nonsense?
I would say, yeah, but I mean, the things that I'm pointing out, it's kind of obvious that that's what is exclusive.
Why don't you list for me some of the obvious white girl actions that your wife takes?
Like she don't know how to really dance. She will sometimes, but she don't like to clean up. Like, you know, clean up after
How
herself.
is that a white girl thing?
Well, because what I'm saying is like, I'm really, because there's nothing really coming to mind just straight off to my head, but I can say like, I mean, you have some people, I would really say that that's all people that they don't, some people just don't want to clean up, but I've known like a lot of, you can go to, I guess, you can go to white folks' house, black folks' house, it don't matter, they're gonna be dirty, they're gonna be dirty. I guess it really don't matter about your shade when it comes to that. But there are certain things that she does that I would say are exclusive. Just the way that she'll talk about things, like certain way you don't do things around black folks. You just don't do it like that.
Can you think of, and I know it's kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but can you think of one? Or you?
I mean, just being friendly.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You can't walk around, hi, how you doing?
Why can't you?
And I mean, you can, but you're gonna get a funny look. We looking at you like...
Hang on. You know, so in order to be black, you can't be friendly?
No, being friendly, like just overly, like just walking around, hey, like go lucky. Like it's not lucky out here. This is real life. We out here struggling. Ain't nobody trying to smile all the time until it get right. Then maybe we'll be in here smiling, but we ain't walking around here, hey, how you doing? And it's a great day for you in the neighborhood. Maybe, but
I do it all the time.
Good for you. That's good for you.
And I know a lot of black people. I mean, I know thousands and thousands of black people
I know
who are not...
thousands of thousands that don't.
But I understand that. But what I'm saying is we are not one monolithic structure.
Exactly.
We are people. We are individuals. Right. There are happy black folk. There are angry black folk. Right. There's smart black folk. There's confused black folk. I mean, So for you to tag a certain behavior as non-black because it doesn't meet your emotional status is incorrect. I'm just saying you are wrong.
Your opinion.
No. Oh, no, you're wrong. It's not an opinion. There are different
Everybody
kinds
has
of
an
black
opinion.
people. We've been fighting all of our lives to be thought of as people and individuals, and now you're telling me that you lose your black card if you smiling and happy. That's absurd.
Okay.
That's absurd. No. Well, now I'm really must be black now because I'm not smiling anymore. I'm angry. Has my blackness gone up for you?
I guess so. That's what you feel.
Holy moly. What other things does he say at home about the black and white dichotomy that you find offensive?
I guess a lot of things that are going on in the world right now, maybe I don't identify with because I wasn't raised and I didn't have that I did have prejudice against me, but maybe not in the form because he's a black, tall man with locks, and I'm sure that living that life is different than living other lives, especially mine. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that prejudice, but if I can't identify with it, I can't identify with it. I mean, what do you want me to do?
But do you seek to understand it and to hear how he feels and why he feels that way? Do you seek to do that?
I will listen to him, but if it's all the time, that's not the only thing I want to talk about.
So you're talking about race is always an issue for him as opposed to an issue that you sometimes discuss.
Right.
Next, what serious consequences have Sherry's drinking and infidelity had on her husband, Jamie? If the ink on your marriage license is barely dry, but you're ready to call it quits, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Couples in crisis, real resolution. Divorce Court continues.
Ms. Hearns, you say there's a drinking issue here.
There was.
Mr. Hearns, is that your belief, or do you believe you still have it?
She don't drink. She don't drink no more. She did have a serious drinking problem, though.
And how did that affect your marriage, and how was that resolved?
The resolve is that she stopped drinking. How it affected our marriage is because there was adultery, and it just messes with you in a messed up way. So.
And I know that the drinking has been resolved, but the hurt nevertheless remains. Is that where we are?
The hurt remains. Yeah. Because of the way it transpired,
Explain that to me.
The first, she cheated on me 3 times total, but 2 times was when she was drinking. Mm-hmm. And so the first time when she did it, it was kind of like a pass. And the second time she did it, it was kind of like a pass, but still I'm recognizing, this is really your lifestyle. And where I come from, that's how that's not hard for me to revert to, is to be a player, a pimp. I grew up around gangster cats and street cats, so I know what it is. So when you come at me and act like that, I'm like, well then, okay, that's what it is.
And
but then I still care about you.
And that's what he did.
I care about her, and I did cheat. Because I was out of revenge.
Retaliation. Retaliatory cheat. Ms. Hearns, why don't you discuss what you were going through and how it manifested itself in you cheating on your husband?
I was drinking since the age of 18. I started blacking out when I was 20. Mm-hmm. I drank every and anything and it probably I don't know. I want to talk about this. I'm about to cry. It was probably to cover up that not knowing who I was and not fitting in. And so I turned to drinking. People turn to different things. That's what I turned to. And I would black out and I wouldn't remember, and I would do stuff that ordinarily I wouldn't do, I guess. And I did cheat on him, and it was because within myself didn't have self-confidence or self-esteem, and so I would turn to that outer source to make me feel good about myself.
But that last
I'm not
time you
saying-
weren't drinking, correct?
That's right.
And that's the one that he says,
And
and
that's
correct
when
me
we
if I'm
have-
wrong, that hurts him the most.
And I understand that, but we weren't talking or we hated each other for those last 2 years. When I did it when I was sober, we did not like each other. We were not talking to each other, and he was running around doing whatever he wanted to do. So, because I'm not drinking, I'm just supposed to sit there and let you act
I mean,
a fool
I
while I'm
was,
sitting at the house.
But you were out
I
on
was
your own
constantly doing
excursions.
music. I was actually doing
Doing
music
music.
on a 24-hour basis. Like I was
Well,
just in the
no
studio.
one was doing music on a 24-hour basis.
I was
we
doing.
get that.
I was in the. Well, I mean, when she's saying I wasn't coming home, I was at the studio till 12 o'clock.
But you weren't
to come
cheating.
home. No, I wasn't.
When Divorce Court continues, are religion, passion, and politics pulling this marriage apart?
Do you think Jamie is mostly to blame for the problems in this relationship? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now, 1-800-282-1991.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court continues.
Mr. Hearns, I want to ask you something, and I'm not attacking you. I'm inquiring, because you go into defense mode very quickly, and I want you. We can't hear each other if you're always defending. So just let me ask you. You seem so Afrocentric, so involved in the African American experience politically and as an activist, that kind of thing. Was marrying someone who was half white something that came as a surprise to you? Was it? You seem to be so mad at her that she doesn't get what it is to be black, and I want to know what it is that brought you to her, given that that's such a big part of your life and you're so upset about it.
When we initially got together, we were, I was in a different faith. I was walking I was a Christian mind state. I don't have I don't hate European people because they're white. I don't hate them at all. I'm just, when I point something out to you, don't try to act like you don't know what I'm talking about. And when you're talking about with my wife, if I show something to her, she will act like she don't know what I'm talking about. And so, like to go get a job, for instance, if I go to get a job and I go in there to get a job and I tell her, man, you could tell the dude was racist, man. She initially in the beginning she was like, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about, until she sees it for herself and comes back and tells me, dang, I see what you're talking about. But when I'm telling her this and I want to talk about it, it can't happen.
Okay. Ms. Hearns, your response to that? I think I see what your concern is. Go ahead. What your response to that?
Because you do not know what people are thinking. There's 1,000 different things going on at one time in the world all the time.
So race could be a factor and it could not be a factor, and you want him to appreciate the fact that it might not be what it is.
And it may be. It may very well be, but let's not go straight to that.
Is he generally an angry person?
I don't think, no, he's not genuinely angry. He's very passionate when he's talking. I would call it passion.
Joyful times. Tell me something you two enjoy doing together.
Watching Netflix, having sex, I don't know.
Not all women say that. You should be happy, Mr. Hearns. Smile for me, brother, please.
Judge Lynn Toller's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toller's ruling right now.
Mr. Hearns, you're looking for transitional support from Mrs. Hearns. Does she work and you not, or is it the other way around?
I just got laid off at my job, but yeah, she works now, and she always has kept her.
I always keep a or two.
Yeah. Mr. Hearns, do you really want to leave her? Seriously, think about it. Do you really want to leave her? I mean, can you get past? I mean, I think the racial thing is something that you can work through that. I mean, you just need to understand it a little better. But I mean, have you gotten over the hurt of the cheating?
I mean, it's a constant reminder. I mean, it's you constantly are thinking it's a possibility.
Right.
And I know me, I'm just constantly battling myself because of I know I can get girls. I can get ladies, man.
So you ready to move on and
No, I'm just saying it's a struggle. I'm dealing. I hear that voice. She could be playing on you again.
Here's the thing, Mr. Hearns, you have to make a
But
decision.
that's both of us, because I say the same thing with him, because I see how girls look at him.
And she
He's not an
constantly
ugly
tells
man.
me, she's constantly saying,
I'm
are
very
you out there
jealous.
messing around? And I'm like,
Let me
man,
tell you
so-
people
Well, damn.
something. Let me tell you people something. You have to decide whether you're going to trust somebody or not, and you got to leave it there. And someone can always cheat on you. I'm away from my husband for days and weeks upon a time. We could always cheat on each other. We can always live some error that has happened. We can we can live in all the negative aspects of life and miss the rest of it. But if she does cheat on you again, what will happen?
We'll
You'll
go our
leave.
separate ways, right?
You'll leave. But until then, don't beat her up with the maybe of it. Either trust her
I'm
or
not trying
not
to beat
trust
her up, but she's constantly bringing it to me. If you're bringing it to me and you're bringing it to me all the time, I can't but turn around and be like, well, why are you accusing me all the time? And are you doing that?
That goes for both of you. The trust thing goes for both of you.
Sorry.
I'm not bringing it to her. I'm not bringing it to her like that. She brings it to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
And I'm telling, that trust comment goes with both of you. Either you're gonna trust him. If he cheats on you, he cheats on you, and then you leave.
Oh, no, it ain't gonna
but
be
you
just
don't,
he cheated on you.
You don't beat him up with the
I know.
possibility that he might, because that will bring about the outcome that you're trying to avoid. So you've got to trust yourself enough to know, hey, if he does roll, if he does cheat, I'm gonna be fine.
Right.
Or else leave now. One of the two. Don't beat each other up with the maybe of it. Trust and move on, or move away from one another.
If I leave, I got to pay him $3,000.
I don't know. I haven't got to that part yet. Now, why do you say she owes you $3,000 in transitional support? Has she been the primary breadwinner in your relationship throughout?
when we first got married, we were both working. Just this last year has been kind of rough, going from being assistant manager to not going and being in temporary services and playing that temporary service joke game. But I'm just, I can't say anything about her working because she does work, but the way that she does with the money is the problem, because I know how to balance the money of what we got. And she wants ice cream.
You know what, guys? I don't think you're done. I think we're fighting over things that we're not supposed to be fighting over here. I really do, because if you were really done, you wouldn't be worried about the money and the this and the that and the other thing, I think. I would love to spend like 2 hours and just talk to you, Mr. Hearn. I really would. I think you could benefit from my perspective. I really do, because, you're damning yourself with the actions of others. You know what I mean? No, you don't, but that's okay. I'm 56 years old.
She's the only woman I'll let you give her your phone number, so she can call and talk to you.
Oh, I don't want to talk to her that badly. Please, let's not get it confused. Listen, I'm going to have you two talk to my counselor, and she's going to recommend some other counselors for you, because I think you're two good people. Both, you've got issues about your mama and your daddy and your whoever and this, ever, and you got issues about anger in general. You feel attacked and abused, and some of it's real, a lot of it's real, but you got to decide if you're going to let it run your life or not. And it's running your life, and you can decide not to allow. I mean, my father was born in 1919. He didn't let it run his life. You know what I mean? He didn't. This matter is adjourned.
Sherry and Jamie truly appreciate the judge's ruling and are working to rekindle their romance. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.